We're rolling.
Oh yeah. You look sun-kissed,
I
honestly.
am. I am. I'm dating a girl in Southern California right now, so
Ooh, I do
I'm out in the
declare.
sun quite a bit. We're in Long Beach as we speak.
You're in Oh, damn, nice, dude.
Yeah. All right. Boom. Two Planker podcast. We're back with Emmett. Emmett, it's nice to have you here.
Salute. Good to be back. My background's a little fucked up, but I'll take it, I guess.
Yes. Would you like to explain what the background is this time?
His head's a little cropped. I didn't have time to do a good version, but this is Ivan the Terrible. Hold on. Um, it's gonna be on one of the top sheets for this year. Uh, he wasn't a nice man by any means, but he was kind of the prototype. Wait a second. I was gonna wear these glasses, but I look like a douchebag. Hold on.
Okay.
I got these glasses in a gas station in Norway, and they're so fucking sick. Anyways, Ivan the Terrible, not a nice man by any means, but he was like the first modern dictator. He had like secret police, and he had like um, a group of like they were like monks that like lived with him in his castle. He was a weird dude. He beat his own son to death on accident. On accident. He didn't mean to. But the crazy thing about this picture is I'm gonna put it on a top sheet. And those that have been following along for a while know the skier Simon Knight. Um, he married a Russian woman named Dasha, who I think you know, Dasha.
Mhm.
So he has dual citizenship now. So he's been in Moscow, or he was in Moscow for like a couple months. And I asked him to get a picture of this one painting of Ivan. It's a famous painting of him like holding his son after he beat him to death with a scepter. Because he probably said some shit, you
Is that
know?
the painting of the really wide-eyed guy holding the
Yes.
other? Okay. Yes.
So
Yes.
I wanted to use so originally I wanted to use that painting for a top sheet, and I realized that it was in a museum in Moscow, and Simon was in Moscow. So I was like, hey, can you go get a picture of this for me? Because if when I do the top sheet, I got to be there, or some like it's got to be somewhat real life or it doesn't count, in my opinion. So he goes there and he's like, yeah, I guess someone defaced that painting in like 2016 and it's still under repairs or whatever. So they don't have it. But we got this, which is a sculpture of Ivan. So I was like, all right, I'll fucking take that.
Pretty
So
sick. I like
yeah.
it.
And then he took another picture in the same. It's crazy how shit works out sometimes. Someone is getting a new, two people are getting, well, three people are getting new pro model top sheets this year. And one of them, I had a picture saved to my phone from like 6 or 7 years ago that I remembered. And I was like, oh shit, that'd be a cool top sheet. And I made a little mock up of it. And I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know where this painting is. Like, am I gonna have to do whatever? And I look it up and it's in the same museum as this, believe it or not. So it's crazy how shit works out. So Simon got this picture and then, or Dasha and Simon got this picture and then the other one that just, I don't know. Sometimes, dude, things just sync up. You know what I mean?
I love it. You're
What can you
so.
tell me about the Mayflower?
Oh yeah. So Emma had to push back this interview a little bit, and I was like, you know what? No worries at all, because I'm reading about the Mayflower. The Mayflower was sick. So
Yeah.
I'm from New England, so we get a lot of that early American history, and everyone says that the Mayflower was all about these people escaping religious persecution, which is partially true. But basically, to sum it all up, these people left England because they didn't like the Church of England, went to Holland, then came back to England because they're like, hey, we want to go to America. Let's cut a
Yeah.
deal with this shipping company, basically. And so, on behalf of England, we'll go to the New World with all these other people that are trying to make some money. So, it wasn't a fully religious venture. They teamed up with some people that were trying to make a buck to get to America. It's kind of interesting.
And I mean, they were being persecuted. They're also being annoying. They're Puritans.
They were Puritans, yeah. They didn't like the Church of England, and they thought it couldn't be fixed, so they just left. They're like,
Well, King Henry was like, I fucking hate my wife, dude. I gotta get rid of this bitch. And so he, which was not nice, but he was like, yeah, as you know, I'm sure he's like, I gotta start a whole new church in order to divorce this lady.
yeah,
So he could get with Anne Boleyn, who herself was, one of the baddest bitches in history for sure. But he starts his own church, and these Puritan ass nerds who are our forefathers, nerds, bro, were like, we're being persecuted. It's a lot like Republicans nowadays. It's like you're not being persecuted. You're just annoying as fuck. But they're like, okay, we gotta start it. Yeah. Did you read about the beer and shit and how they like the IPA thing?
I didn't read about this. No. I did read that the beer was a part of the diet because the water was so shitty that you need to have alcohol in it.
Yeah. So not just for the Mayflower, but for long ship voyages, they invented India Pale Ale to keep the beer from going bad. Like the more hops you put in it, the longer it stays.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any water. So if you could imagine just being on a boat for that long and just being like permanently drunk, so smelly, probably getting scurvy, though you didn't even know it yet. So you're like kind of going insane. And then there's people that are just like dying. There's like rats and shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound that sick, dude.
It doesn't. No.
But
I have.
made it.
Okay. While we're talking about history,
Oh, please.
I got one more for you. So have you heard of the term firewater before for booze?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I just read a book about the Hudson Bay Company. So just basically all of Canada was developed by fur traders, and a big part of their trading with the natives was liquor. And so they eventually, the European traders, they eventually started watering it down. So the natives, they would take a sip of it and blow it onto a fire to make sure what. So if it went up in flames, they're like, "Oh, this is pure booze." But if it started to put out the fire a little bit, they're like, "Oh, this is cut." Yeah. So that's hence the term firewater.
The white man always trying to pull a fast one, dude. Always trying to finesse somebody, dude. You couldn't just give the natives some liquor. You got to try to fuck them over, dude. As you know, things don't change.
All right. Let's get this on track, unless we want to keep on doing history. I mean, you're a very worldly man. You just got back from traveling across this great nation just to go to a museum, it seems.
Yeah, I went to the Upper East Side of Manhattan and pretended to be rich for a weekend, and it did not go well. As far as pretending to be rich.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I was way out of my league out there, dude. It was crazy how poor I am compared to the people in the Upper East Side. But yeah, I flew to Manhattan, and I've been doing this thing. This is 10 years of Vishnu at this point. I'm fucking out of ideas, basically. So I was like, I gotta go somewhere where I gotta find a building where all of the coolest things are in North America, pretty much. And so I went to the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and I got like 4 top sheets there, which was pretty sick. Spent way more money than I should have. It's tax deductible, but that doesn't make it hurt any less, but it was fun. I'm kind of a hater, though. I don't know. New York is like, don't get me wrong. It's cool.
Yeah.
But the more I travel, the more it's a good thing and a bad thing. The more I travel, the more I realize that the entire world is just people walking to the store to get a drink, pretty much, in one way or the other. You know, it's like people just like walking their dog. It doesn't really matter where you go. Things are pretty obviously there's cultural differences in language and everything, you know, that's different. But on a core level, everyone is just kind of like walking their dog and fucking
Yeah.
buying a drink and fucking, you know, whatever. But that's cool because sometimes traveling can be intimidating,
Yeah.
you know? But the more you do it, the more you realize it's like, oh, like it's pretty much the same-ish.
Yeah.
So I've had a bit of a demystification about traveling in the last couple of years for sure.
I think you got to go to places that are less stable. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
most of the first world is very similar. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
once you start going places that shit's not all the way together, that's when
yeah.
you start getting the wild stuff.
I would like to go somewhere like I have never really experienced true culture shock. So I need to go somewhere like Japan or like Thailand where I'm like completely fucking removed. But even still, I bet I would be in an Airbnb and be like, all right, people are just again just like walking their in one way or another, just like walking their dog, you know, going to work,
Yes.
whatever. That's
Yeah.
that's the world, I guess. But
So,
I went to Norway too, which is pretty tight.
yeah, I mean, do you want to talk about that? Because I was going to talk about that eventually, but we're already talking about travel, so let's hear about the
I
Norway
mean,
journey.
we can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll
It's
bounce around.
it's your show, baby.
Yeah.
But uh the last time, well, yeah, I don't know. The last one of these that I did, um boy, I was in rough shape. It might have not seemed like it, but I was fucking
January 2023, episode 60. Last time you were on.
not good. I put on a good face for sure, but I was like fucking this was not good. I pretty much what happened was, and I got rightfully made. I got made fun of rightfully, I guess, but I chose to live in a garage. Um, hold on, the cat is crunching up a Mike. Jesus, hold on a second. I'm gonna bring him in. He wants
Yeah,
to
bring
come.
him in. Bring him in.
Stop making that. Stop making noise. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy. All right, so yeah, I was living in a house with Kyson and Curtis and my friend Tyler. And our lease ended and I just had like a extreme existential spiral. Like, I don't know. I guess it was because I was like, you know, okay, we're done. Okay, sorry. I kind of was just like mad at the world, I guess, because, you know, I started Vishnu and I was 23. I worked, you know, I literally worked as hard as I possibly could for 7 years. And I was told by my boomer parents, like many of us, that if you just try hard and are good, like you can buy a house and you can do this and you can do that, you know? And I basically worked as hard as I could and was more successful than I ever dreamed I could have been. And even still at age 30, I was fucking not even close to buy it. Like not even fucking close to being able to buy a house at all. And that kind of like, as I was moving out of this house, kind of like spun me into a weird existential crisis where I was like, dude, what the fuck am I doing? Um, I'm a fucking failure, idiot, loser, dumbass. Like, fuck me. What am I doing? You know? And I think sometimes when you are doing bad mentally, you kind of, without even trying to, you try to make the outside match the inside. subconsciously. So I'm doing on the surface, I'm selling skis. Things are as good as they've ever been. But internally, I'm, grasping, I'm feverishly grasping at my sanity. So I was like, all right, what would a fucking complete insane piece of shit do? Move into a garage. So that's what I did. And at the time, I sort of told myself that it was this like grand artistic venture. Like, ooh, I'm going to struggle for my art. It's like, no, you're just dangerously depressed, idiot. What the fuck are you doing? You know? But anyways, that's what I did. So I moved into this garage that I had been working out of the garage, and then I just moved in illegally. Um, and things just got worse from there because I didn't have a shower, I didn't have a kitchen. I was breathing in like gasoline fumes, and there's like mice and roaches, and it was not good. But at the time, I sort of justified it mentally as like this is what artists do, like but I was just, I was coping, I guess, with what I saw as like my failures in life, which ultimately it always comes down to just like your expectations betray you. So like what you think is going to happen, what you expect is going to happen is what makes you feel bad, I guess. But when we did our last one, I was mid garage dwelling, and it was bad. Now though, I got rescued by my friends that I used to live with. Right, I'm right down the street from my old spot. They rescued me like a fucking puppy from a puppy mill. They were like, dude, like, what are you doing? You know? Like they had a come to Jesus moment with me where they were like, what are you smell so bad. Like you're fucking out of your mind. Like move into this house. And I was like, okay, yeah. So now I came up, baby. I got a couch. I got a damn, the water comes out of the fridge. I walk right up to the fridge, crushed ice, water out of the fridge, air conditioning. I made it, dude.
You had a self-inflicted come up.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. It was self-inflicted completely. It was basically just a child of privilege, self-inflicting suffering for no reason other than because it's what matched what I was going through mentally, I guess.
Well,
You know?
to cut you some slack, because it seems
Yeah.
like it doesn't like when you're in a situation like that. Sometimes you do have to try something different to alleviate your internal dilemma. You're like, all right, well maybe if I switch things up, things will improve. Clearly, they did not, but it's worth a
Yeah.
shot sometimes.
Yeah. And to make things worse, like uh let's see, we did that January of 20.
23, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So New Year's Day, I went out to film some street skiing with Dylan and my friend Matt Stackhouse. And we were using the rewinch, the electronic winch.
Yeah.
And I've been using it for years. I'm good at it, and I've never had any crazy shit happen. But in this scenario, we were in like a tight little like between two houses kind of, and I was running the winch, kind of not paying attention, and I was standing in close proximity to the winch, which is not usually a problem, but we were in close quarters. And I let it rip, and Matt dropped the winch. It fucking wrapped around my leg at full speed. So this winch rope wraps around my foot at full speed, and like Looney Tunes whips me off my feet, just straight to the ground. Just fucking, I hit my head off this wood patio like so fucking hard. Just like saw stars and was just so concussed. And I didn't realize how much it affected me over the, like I've hit my head before skiing and it's like a week, 2 weeks, it's a little weird, cloudy, but you're good. But this time, like I was cloudy and like confused for like 6 months. So that was right after, like that thing we did was right after that. So I didn't realize that I was like for sure concussed, like flat affect, like my mood was all crazy. So I'm living in this garage, dirty, smelly, crushing roaches every day, and I'm like concussed. Like I don't know where I am a lot of the time. And it was just one thing on top of another, dude. Like you just don't realize like how crazy you're being sometimes until you're like done being crazy, I guess.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until this dude right here. It wasn't until this dude right here rescued me from the garage that I realized like how fucking stupid I was being. Finally, though, now the cloud has lifted and I'm like back in my right mind.
Yeah.
But it was weird, and also like the top sheets that I made while I was in that state. It's just weird to look back on things I made that people like while I was doing like really bad.
Yeah. Do you have an example of one of those top sheets that you're like, this is symptomatic of me being in a really shit place, or like just I don't know if
Like all of them, pretty
yeah.
much, like all of them. I just couldn't. I was like concussed and so depressed. I just couldn't like think. Usually I'm good at thinking like creatively semi long term. I'm good at like thinking about things like that. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't like visualize, which is like my only strength is like visualizing. And I like couldn't do it. So I can't believe that people like the top sheets that I made in that state because I was fucking like not even I was like not even like there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But we made it, dude. And that's my sob story. That's my I don't know. People like made fun of me. There was a comment that was like yeah, cosplaying as being poor.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's actually true. That's actually true. My bad.
It's really interesting because I thought those top sheets were good. Like the lily
I'm
pads and
saying.
the oil slick and cows. I'm just looking at the Instagram right now.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like I look at those and I just see like one of the worst years of my life. Truly.
It's so crazy. Damn. Well, I'm glad you've pulled yourself out of that.
I mean, I had yeah, I fucking brought it on myself.
Yeah.
Thought it would be cool. It wasn't. And, I'm better now though, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch if you watch that second interview, you can tell that I'm like super flat and like not like I could tell that you were thinking that. I remember looking at you, like the look on your face as I was talking, and you being like, is this the same dude that I talked to the first time? You know what I mean?
Actually, I don't remember having that thought,
It just seemed like it.
but it could have come off unintentionally. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really weird. But anyways,
Here, one second. I'm just gonna. She's fixing these outside blinds right now. Sorry. We had to fix these shades. This is some California shit. They can have like shades that are outside because it's hardly ever bad weather.
oh
So
yeah.
so it's just banging against the house, and she's coming to
Do you
see.
live do you live there now?
No, I'm just in a state of always visiting.
True.
Yeah, so I'm here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna be It is brighter now, but I'm gonna go to Hood, and then I'll be gone from here for a while. I'm gonna be in Hood all of May.
Yeah, I've seen you out in the mix on the move all year.
We've been on the move, brother, and I got this
That's
van
good.
now. It's funny. So your situation improved. I've gone from living in a house to just living in a van now, and we're mooching off of other people's accommodations.
That sounds about right for the
Yeah,
industry that we're in.
yeah,
Glorified homelessness, you know.
yeah. But I want like if I ever use the phrase van life, I want someone to like take me out back and just execute me. Like I
Oh,
don't.
I'll kill you.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's some living in a van is awesome, but like the whole culture of like van shit is
Yeah.
not. Like
If you ever say van life to me, I'll behead you like an ISIS video. I swear to God. Don't. Fuck.
all right, so I'm glad things are better. But yeah, when you told me you're down bad, we were setting this one up for the last interview. I was like, I was interested to hear it.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, it's always as, mental health shit, I get tired of fucking talking about it sometimes, but it is worth saying that like, it does get better if you just get a grip and just like let other people let the lesson that I learned is you don't need to be an island unto yourself all the time, let people help you.
Yeah, you
It's
travel. Yeah, you travel faster alone, but further together. It's good to have some resources around you.
just like the Mayflower.
Yes, yes,
Just like the Mayflower, dude. We got to
exactly.
get on that boat. We got to get a team. Yeah. But yeah,
Yes. Okay, that's a good update. That's a great update.
thanks.
Alrighty, let's get into some nitty gritty. So,
Sure.
you said you flew across the country for top sheets.
Yep.
What is your general philosophy with top sheets? Looking back on 10 years of Vishnu, because I mean, and this is something else I wanted to say. The photo of Dylan standing over the Mirepoix top sheet is great. And
Oh yeah.
it's a great behind the scenes photo. And I also think that's probably going to be your most mispronounced top sheet of all time.
I know. I was gonna change the name to Trinity, but the Trinity is different though.
Mm,
Like Mirepoix is onions, celery, carrots,
yeah.
and it comes from French cooking. But the Holy Trinity is Southern. It's like Louisiana, so it's green bell peppers, onions, carrots.
Yeah.
So it would be like a misnomer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just call it veggies because
It's more than that.
it is more than that. But we'll see. I don't know. It's Mirepoix.
It's not the Mirepoix.
Mirepoix. I can't wait for somebody to say that to me in real life, and I'll be like, yeah, that's yep.
So, okay, so your general philosophy with top sheets, it has to be, or at least, yeah, I mean, you could put it in your own words.
There has to be some semblance of like real life interaction, I think, for it to count. Of course, there's been a handful of top sheets where like I was in a tough spot, so I had to just like use a stock image like a handful of times.
Yeah.
But for the most part, um, I gotta take the picture myself and or I have to like go there in person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't, you can just take pictures of anything from the internet, which I think is what people think I do to this day. But um so I wasn't in Russia, but like someone was, so that counts to me. That makes it like authentic to me, I guess. So that's kind of my philosophy. If I see something that interests me and I want to do it, within reason, like I gotta go there.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Um,
Why do you prefer that over like a graphically designed, like just computer generated, like every other ski company?
because it's boring, because it's what everyone does, I
Yeah.
guess. It's like you could easily. I always use when we first started, I always hated ski graphics, and I always called them Illustrator soup because that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
It's like just someone who is hired by a ski company who doesn't ski probably and is trained to use Illustrator, and they just come up with something. The problem I think with ski graphics mostly is that like it just goes through too many people's hands. So it loses its edge, it loses its bounce. You know, if you make something and then you give it to the higher ups and then they do something and then they do this and then and by the time it goes to production, the thing that the person designed is not what's on production.
It's also like designed 2 years ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was kind of always my problem with it. I work well under pressure. So like whereas most other companies will do their top sheets 2, sometimes 3 years in advance, like when the top sheets come out, when the pre-sale starts on May 1st, like I pretty much have spent the last month making them under pressure because I've found that if I work on them for like 6 months, for example, I get like swag blindness, you know? Like I can't see the juice anymore. I look at it too much and the bounce is just like gone.
Yeah.
So I try to like get it all out. Like, okay, I'm gonna sit like tonight, I'm gonna sit down, finalize the wide top sheets that are 25% done,
Yeah.
which is insane because they're coming out in 3 weeks. But that kind of process is what makes things special.
Yeah.
Having to be like, all right, better do it because, here we go. And that kind of is how I've always worked. And that's like the one thing that college actually taught me. I was thinking about that the other day. Because I was talking to somebody about like going to college, like, is it worth it? Whatever. And I think going to college is what taught me how to work on a deadline
Yeah.
and how to like make it count when it counts. And that's kind of one of my biggest strengths, I would say.
Yeah. Do you
It's
have
like
like
it's
a
like the lightning in a bottle thing, you know?
yeah? Do you have a Rick Rubin type figure that you bring in, last minute when because he's notorious for they bring him in and then he helps get the album across the finish line. He's the reducer, not the producer.
Is the reducer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I do have somebody like I never claimed to be a graphic designer because I'm like not.
Mm.
And I never claimed to be a photographer because I'm also not. I have a friend who I've known like pre-Vishnu. His name's Connor McCormick. He's a great skier. He lives in Manhattan and he works for a Fortune 500 company doing interior business graphic design.
Mhm.
So within the business, he does stuff for it's whatever, who cares? But he's fucking the man. So if I get in over my head with something design wise, where I'm like, I don't know how to do this, and I have fucking 15 minutes to figure it out,
Yeah.
I'll send it to him and be like, he polishes,
Yeah.
but only a couple every year. And like last year he didn't do any. This year I'm gonna probably have him like touch up like 2 or 3 things just because he's way better than me. Like the other thing I've learned in all these years is again, like I was talking about earlier, like letting people help you. Like the mark of a good business person is that you're able to recognize like when you don't got it and just to not be embarrassed to bring someone else in who really knows what the fuck is up.
Yeah.
And my boy Connor is that guy. Um, so like for example, on the liquid metal top sheets from a couple years ago, I had like those pictures that I took of melted aluminum, and I just had like the pieces sort of like put together, but it looked fucking not. It's all about like a first glance look. You look at it, is it hitting or is it not? And it wasn't. So I had him piece everything together and like change the light source and the shadows and whatever. So he does that, you know, because I'm in a constant state of being out of my league. Constantly. I'm constantly like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So he's kind of my ace in the hole type guy.
Yeah.
But there's no Rick I'm that. But I do like his sometimes I like Rick Rubin. You know, I'm a appreciator of music and just like music history. And so I've like listened to a lot of his podcasts and a lot of stuff that he has to say. And he's right about most things, but sometimes he loses me a little bit. Specifically with the like fuck the audience idea that he has.
Yeah. Where he's like, they shouldn't be a consideration at all.
They should be like 20% consideration
Yeah.
because um especially with skis, like you can make something that is artistically valid and interesting that does not sell and does not appeal to people.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to get right in the middle. And it's easy for Rick Rubin to say that because he's working with the greatest artists in the world. So it's easy for him to say you're working with like generational talent.
Yeah.
So that he kind of loses me with that shit sometimes. But I do agree that I do agree with just like the philosophy of taking away in order to add.
Yeah.
I think that's it's a good philosophy.
Yeah. He had one the other day that I forget where I saw it. He has so much content just spread around. But he was like, if it sounds like it could be on someone else's album, it shouldn't be on yours. You know? So extending that to you, it's like if you make a top sheet that looks like it could be another company's top sheet, it probably shouldn't be your top sheet.
Yeah, definitely true. I don't really encounter that too much just because nobody else currently
Yeah.
does like photorealistic stuff. So like a couple years ago with the it kind of gives me a little bit more, it kind of gives me some plausible deniability, I guess. Like the neon sign one.
Yep.
The motif of neon is like done to death. Actually, that year, Faction did skis that had like a neon-ish look, and so did Line skis,
Yeah.
neon-ish, you know, but it wasn't literally a neon sign.
Yeah.
So like the literal aspect saves me a lot. It gives me a lot of like inherent uniqueness that helps.
Yeah.
Um,
I really do like your ability for it to be 3 weeks away and you not have a top sheet done. Like I've never. I mean, there's if you like, I forget what book I read. It was I think it was the book "This Is Not a T-Shirt" about the hundreds, and they were talking.
Hundreds. That's one of the most influential people in my entire life. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking about like those lead times on production, like just the concept of designing something 2 years ago and then putting it out now. It just that never made sense to me. Like, how the fuck do you know what people are gonna want 2 years from now?
You don't.
Yeah.
You hope that the trends that you are following develop in a way that keeps your shit relevant.
Yeah. And they spend a lot of money for those reports on like the trends and what like the where shit's going.
Oh my God, dude, don't even get me fucking started. There's certain companies that will go unnamed, okay, that they actually hire outside consulting firms to come in, and they spend tens of thousands of dollars to have these people that have never put ski boots on in their life like look at their Instagram analytics and like tell them, it's like, yo, you know what you could do is just go skiing and look around with your eyes. That would be way cheaper and way more helpful. But I've talked about it on this with you before. It's like the problem is that the people that run these companies don't ski.
Yeah.
They just don't,
At the higher level.
at the higher level, because
Yeah.
they you know, these companies are owned by a conglomerate that owns 10 other businesses,
Yeah.
from companies that, so a company will own a ski company, they also own like a construction company, they also whatever.
Yeah, it's just part of a portfolio of investments.
Portfolio, exactly.
Yeah.
So they don't have the time or the interest really to really find out what people want on the ground in real life. They can like kind of make their best guess, but it doesn't really work in my opinion. I don't think that shit works.
Mm.
And that's a thing that I've been thinking about it a lot as well with AI, is like I don't think it's as big of a crazy threat to creativity as other people do.
Yeah.
I really don't. Because it's like you can use AI as a tool to enhance the things that you're making, but I'm sure that there's people who know way more about this than I do, and I'm sure at some point AI will be like predictive, but AI, ChatGPT or whatever, similar things, gather things from the past to make things for the present. The human mind can look at things from the past and make things for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the strength of the human brain.
Yeah.
And until AI can do that, I think we're good. Like creative people that work in creative fields, like you still have a brain. Like you can still make things that a computer would not consider making. I got a perfect example. Saga outerwear.
Oh yes. This is a great example. I know where you're
Dude,
going with this. Yeah.
Saga outerwear, when they had the whole thing where all their shit got stolen, they kind of went down for a second, and they came back and they ran, in order to come up with their line of clothes and outerwear for 2019 or 2020, I think. They had an AI program that just looked at everything that they sold over the history of their company. So the things that sold best, and then used that to make their line of shit for that year. But what ended up happening is crazy, like things that didn't make any sense happened. Like, for example, they didn't make any regular snow pants. They made only bibs. Only bibs. Any human being would look at that and be like, people want snow pants. What the fuck? They want regular snow pants, you know?
Yeah.
When you rely on they weren't making things for the future. They were drawing from the past to make things for the present. And that shit does not fucking work, dude. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. So I mean, they're out of business, you know, somewhat as a result. I mean, if you look, and as a result of other things as well, but if you look at that line from that year, it was like things that were not in the pocket currently, because they were drawing from 2012.
Well, honestly, like there's an old piece of Saga behind me. I'm actually gonna pull this out just to
Yeah,
show
go for
you,
it.
just to
Yeah.
show you what this looks like. Look at this. What is this? This is a zebra print jacket, which like upon first inspection, it's like, all right, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But like most of Saga's shit, this is an ugly jacket, objectively. Like most of the stuff that Saga ever put out
Yeah.
was hideous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all those floral patterns, like all their best stuff was just the simple stuff done right. Nice khaki pants, nice black pants, you know?
You know,
Maybe something like a nice accent color here and there, but like an entire zebra, not zebra print, like zebra
Zebra.
graphic. Like, what are we doing?
There's a lot of stuff in the ski world that's so close to being sick,
Yeah.
and that's one of them. Like, if
Yeah.
that was executed properly, it would have been pretty cool, but it's like 90% there, but it doesn't. All right. I'm old enough to remember. I was thinking about this in preparation for this. I was going to try to explain. Um, Rick Rubin talks about it. You know what bounce is in music?
Um, I don't believe so. No.
Okay. So over the years, from my, 14 to 30, like many different words have gone through the lexicon that mean the same thing. Swag, drip, bounce, motion is one that people say now.
Yeah.
And those words all describe the same thing, which is to me an intangible element, a thing that you can't really put into words, but when you see it or hear it, it's going, it's hidden. Uh, and like that has no bounce. And I can't explain what that I can't explain exactly what that means, but that's what art is looking at something and being like, I haven't seen that before. That's an interesting way to do that. Ooh, that reminds me of this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like that, but it's like this. It's multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
So bounce in music is, especially in rap music, is making pockets in the track for people to be in vocally. So and usually it revolves around eliminating things. So if you have a hi-hat on all four, a simple example would be you have a hi-hat on all four, one, two, three, four. You take the third one out. So it's one, two, three, four, one, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four. So that makes like a pocket. It makes space. That's specific to music, but you got to make that jacket you showed me has no space. It has
Yeah.
no. I'm struggling to even articulate it, but you
You
kind of
just know it. You know it when you see it. It's like that
yeah,
old. It's like that old court case about porn. You don't need to define it. You just know it when you
just
see it.
know it when you see it. And I've gotten pretty good. I've sharpened my sword, if you will, about that of knowing it when I see it.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, when I was fucking in a garage, cloudy brain, like eating fake weed gummies from the gas station, seeing things that weren't there, type shit. Uh, I lost that ability
Yeah.
completely. Like I look back on the top sheets from last year, and I'm like, a good example is the Cal Carson one, the moon in that one is a picture of a moon that I found somewhere else, but then I didn't like alter it. It like sticks out all crazy. It doesn't have it doesn't have like blended edges. It's just like in there. And because I was so fucking R-worded, I didn't realize that was the case until way later.
Yeah.
Uh, But to sum it all up, like all these words that people use to describe things that are cool in pop culture, swag, bounce, drip, motion, whatever, it's like internal to the viewer. So if you're a person that makes things, the scariest, most difficult part is just trusting what you think. And it gets less scary over time. The more shit you make, the more you start to trust your perception. And that's like I said, that's something I'm pretty good at now. Um, but it definitely takes practice. It definitely takes practice. It definitely takes failure. It takes doing things and 4 years later being like, what the fuck was that zebra jacket? You know, like
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah. That's,
Um,
I mean, that's another big Ruben thing. He's like, everything you put out makes the next thing easier to put out. That's why
yeah.
it's good to just like, if you're doing something, just keep doing it. Like, don't get like, if you make an edit that sucks, just make a new one. Don't like, just keep going.
It's also why I hesitate to bring back old top sheets. Um, because a top sheet from 2015 was hitting in that year because it was in the pocket at that time.
Hmm.
And the nostalgia factor is strong.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that's gonna translate to the current year. Um,
Well, there's also the difference between things that are trendy and things that are timeless. Because things that are timeless hit whenever,
for
but
sure.
things that are trendy are just hot for the moment. So finding those that's sometimes a harder distinction to make.
Yeah. You know, now that I agree, now that I said that about Rick Root, oh man, I kind of whenever people ask me to do like user created top sheets,
Hmm.
that's my job.
Yeah.
Like my responsibility and the whole reason that this is working for me is because I get the privilege of showing people what they want and not the other way around. Mark Cuban talks about this as well. Like you relying on your consumer to tell you what they want does not work.
Yep.
There's
Henry Ford, faster horse. Yeah.
there's
No,
no,
yeah.
they don't know what they want. And myself as the consumer, it's the same way. Like if I got on a call with the Polo headquarters and said, you should make this, by the time they made it, I'd probably be like, never mind. Because that's not my job as the consumer.
Yeah.
My job as a consumer is to consume. And my job as the creative person is to create. And those when those cross pollinate, I don't think it works. That could be arrogant, that could be whatever, but yeah, I it comes off to me as being out of ideas when companies do that.
Yeah. I
Like,
think part of the fun of being a consumer that has no say is
yeah,
that you give all the power to the creator. You know, you don't you just all you have to do is just let them take charge
yeah.
and then react. You know, being involved in the process can fuck it up sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like somebody cooking for you is way more of a pleasurable experience than cooking for yourself. You know,
Oh yeah.
cooking for yourself is rewarding, but it's like if somebody else is cooking for you, it's a
Yeah.
completely different experience.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I've talked about on our first one I talked about the sort of crossover between food and how I do stuff.
Hmm.
The idea of like a meal. And it's getting more and more that way now where like the colors of all the top sheets together are coherent with each other, like
Yeah.
a meal. They're seasoned to go together. So that when I'm standing in the garage and I'm looking at all of them, it just makes sense. Either makes sense or it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Motion, drip, bounce. It either makes sense or it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I'm wrong too sometimes, but I'm wrong less and less now, which is nice.
Yeah.
Especially
So
because I got way more money on the line. So it's nice to get better. Isn't it nice to get better at the things that you practice endlessly? What
yes.
a treat. What a treat.
So we're here for 10 years of Vishnu.
Yep.
Uh, what is your in all your time doing Vishnu? What is your least favorite top sheet that you've put out? And that could be your least favorite when it came out, or least favorite in retrospect.
The color changing ones, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Because I feel like those got a lot of fan love for being a unique concept.
The concept was cool. Um, there was just a production issue that led to a lot of the top layer of the top sheet like peeling. And I thought it was my fault. I thought it was like the chemicals that they use to make the color changing thing like not bonding properly, but it turns out actually it was the manufacturer of the top sheet material itself. They had like a bad batch that went on those skis. I just feel like when I see them now, I'm just reminded of that. It's like, fuck, that was so. I just hate when things are like so close to being so fucking sick, but then there's just a little thing that keeps it from being what I felt it could be. Now, to the consumer, like they maybe don't care, like that probably maybe doesn't make sense to people because like that was a really popular thing that people liked. But to me, I see it and I'm like, fuck, fuck, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, you hear guys talk about that all the time when they have like an iconic edit or part in a movie, and they land slightly fucked up in one shot, and they always say that's the only thing I see when I watch the segment. I just see that one landing.
It's the only thing I see. Um, Now with the top sheets, like I was saying, they're due in 3 weeks. That has been helping me to not hate them as much. The less time, the less not the less time, but the smaller time frame that I spend on them helps. So that when I put them out, I'm not like disgusted by my own shit. Like I said, I get swag blindness bad where I'm
Yeah.
like, is this even should I just kill myself? Like, what the fuck? You know?
There should be some. There's got to be a term for that because it's the same feeling as looking at a word for too long and being
What is this word?
what is this word? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same exact thing. It's just like all symbols and everything mental stops making sense when you just look at it for too long.
Compressing the time frame helps me.
Yeah.
So that's good. I listened to one of your recent podcasts.
With who?
Well, that they were talking about me, dude. What was with that?
What were they saying? It's so funny. I hardly remember. I hardly remember these conversations at this point.
Uh, it was with someone who made a really popular video that came out, the daycare video.
Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. The P ring episode.
Consider my eyebrows raised.
Would you like to address that?
Um, the specific thing that he was upset with, he was right. He was right. I should have in the spring reached out to him and said, this is not working. Um, you're gonna need to have to find another avenue. So he was right in that regard. And I'm, man enough to admit that, I bosses take losses, as they say. I fucking sometimes uh I dread confrontation where I have to like tell people what's up. And I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it. Um, but in that case, I was just so fed up that I kind of said like fuck it. And that's not acceptable. So um that's what I like to say about it is like he was right about that for sure.
That's fair. Yeah,
The rest of the episode was just basically him listing opportunities that we gave him, I guess.
yeah. That was
So as I like I said, consider my eyebrows raised.
yeah. We almost I that was prompted. It's funny because I've been doing viewer questions less and less. That was actually prompted by a viewer question, which ended up prolonging the episode by about 30 to 45 minutes.
Yep.
So it interests me when those things get applied out of people that I had no prior knowledge of
Yeah.
and no preparation for.
It's crazy to me to get what I really want to say about it is it's crazy to me to get in a public setting like that and just like talk shit. But I get it. I would be frustrated if I were him. Like I said, I'm in a constant state of learning how to do things, and my management style at the time left a lot to be desired, certainly.
Yeah. And I think that's fair that you own that. And I think that, I mean, it's natural that anyone would not want to harp on their role in it. But I think he did mention several times throughout it that he could have been easier to work with, easier to get along with, a better teammate, stuff like that, So I remember walking away from that being like, that was his side of the story. And I feel like
these are my no comment glasses. If I put these on, that means I do not have comment. But I just wanted to say, like, regarding that, that he was right. But the specific thing that he said that he was upset with me about, he was correct.
It was fair to be upset about it. Yeah.
Correct.
It's a good transition to the next thing I want to talk about. If you'd like, unless you have any more comments on that subject.
Well, there was just only one thing where he was talking about like spite skiing, and I just felt that made me feel special. It made me feel noticed. That the anger that you have for me can motivate you to do great things, and that is a valuable mindset that I also have, is seeking vengeance. Vengeance as a motivator is something that can take you really far if you rein it in. It can also destroy everything. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that shit.
Walk that line.
Can't let the fire burn too hot.
Yeah.
Or it may burn your house down. No comment glasses. All right, yeah.
All right. With topics like that, I almost think it's just great to just like have just like I facilitate a conversation. I have not done it yet where I bring in people for like a live debate to hash things out, but maybe we'll have it at some point. Just like a moderated, like, both sides of the story, duke it out, come to the truth.
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
I would fucking love it. I don't think the people involved would love it.
Love that. You would love that. Yeah, I prefer to just do that in real life, I guess.
Yeah. It's the mature way to do it rather than just doing it for everyone to watch.
There's very few people that I have problems with in the ski world, like actually. And in real life doesn't happen.
No.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, on the topic of being a team manager and having a team, I wanted to ask you this. And I know you've addressed this, and we haven't even talked about how you're doing a weekly thing with Reed, but I know you've addressed this. Top sheets, pro top sheets.
Yeah.
How do you go about dishing those out? And what's up with Dylan Manley just now getting a top sheet, even though I've known you've already addressed this on many different forums?
Yeah. The pro model top sheet thing is just my way of it's an excuse to pay people.
Hmm.
It's just a cool way to give people money. Like I give people money for skiing anyway.
Yeah.
The top sheet, the pro model top sheet is more like a trophy, you know. It's more like a representation, a public representation of like appreciation, you know.
Yeah. Well, so people were questioned like why did young Snow have a pro model top sheet? A pro model top sheet before Dylan, and you've explained, well, Dylan has his own ski and every
Yeah,
yeah.
built a whole company around Dylan.
Yeah. But go
He's
ahead. You
my
can explain this in your
Dylan Manley is my muse, my flame, my burning passion. No, he's like, you know, I would consider him my best friend, one of my best friends. And ever since I met him, I knew that he had an approach and a style of skiing that was completely his own. And I knew that with, you know, we were going to make this company work, you needed someone who stuck out like no one else did. And, you know, the wet ski is his ski and always has been. So every wet ski ever is a Dylan Manley pro model. And maybe people don't understand that. Like he is a co-founder of the company, legally speaking. Like I'm legally married to him in the eyes of the law. Like it's his company. So the ski is his ski. But it just got to a point where um I mean, dude, I never even discussed it with him because he's not a big like uh attention seeker kind of guy. So I just kind of assumed that like he didn't give a shit. And I didn't think he didn't really and still doesn't.
yeah.
But it just was brought to my attention that people were like, what the fuck is going on, you know? So
Yeah.
and he's at a point, he's at a big like point in his life right now where he's a head chef now. Like he's, you know, he was always a good cook and the real deal, but now more than ever, he is the head chef of like arguably the best ramen spot in Utah. Um, and so I thought it would be fitting now to, you know, give him a trophy. He earned it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
So as far as Max Sweetak, Young Snow, um, it's complicated. He kind of didn't ski at all this year, which was surprising. But you know, he's young. I think he's 19 or I think he's 20 now. And he's never really worked full time up until this year. And I think he just you know, people's focuses in life shift, and that's okay. So I think his focus now it has shifted, and I think I got a meeting with him tomorrow to talk about it, but I think he's gonna, you know, he's gonna of course ski for Vishnu if he wants, how he wants, and that's important to him. Is being able to do things on his terms, and I get that. Um,
So do you stand by giving him the top sheet?
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think
Anyone that has gone skiing with him in real life, like can see, like there's a level you reach as far as like skill and experience where like it's undeniable, and he just happened to reach that at the age of like 19 years old, which
yeah.
is insane.
It's fucking sick.
So,
Yeah.
right. So like it doesn't surprise me that, you know, we did a pro model top sheet. I put a ton of work into it. It was really difficult to do. And then he just kind of stopped skiing. And on one hand, like personally, I'm a little like disappointed. It's like, oh man, that sucks. But on the other hand, I get it. I get it. Life comes at you fast. Things change. He's pursuing a career and an education, and he's doing good thing. He's leveling up in his own life. And if that means that he's not skiing as much, then that's what it is. And and the Dove top sheet will, serve as a point in time where skiing was important to him or more important to him. And who knows? If he chooses to put his time and effort into skiing like he did before, like I'm down with whatever. But I'm not mad at a young gun, dude.
I'm not
Never.
mad at a young Snow. Come on now.
Never, dude. Never. He's fucking, you know, he's the man. Yeah, things change. I was a little upset for a little bit, but then I was like, man, I put myself in his shoes when I was 19 years old if I were him
Yeah.
and being like, I don't know. When I was 19, I was fucking trying to die. So it's like I can't be mad at him for like taking positive
Yeah.
making positive moves for his life outside of skiing. Like I can't be like salty at the kid for that, dude, It's
Yeah.
all, it's all good. I don't think we're gonna do a top sheet for him this year. I don't, but not because I'm like mad at him or anything, just because, if you're skiing, then I'm with it. If you're not, then it's all good.
Yeah.
So no bad blood from Mr. Snow. He's a concrete man. Um, he does concrete, and he's studying like construction design type stuff. So, I don't think we've seen the last of him by any means.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
But there's other people now this year that are their focus is on skiing. And so, it's my job to not just reward them financially behind the scenes, which I have been doing, but reward them publicly as a sort of, you know, acknowledgement and appreciation. So,
There were.
yeah.
It is amazing how many things I want to talk to you about. That conversation alone had like three different branches I want to go down. But you
Dude,
mentioned
I got nothing to do today,
you got
honestly.
time. You're talking about people that are deserving, blah blah blah. Seems like since we've last spoken, there's a lot more female presence in Vishnu. What's going on with the women's team, or just the women's scene for Vishnu? Because I don't know what you want to call a team, if they're riding for you, if you're flowing them stuff. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'll let you take over from there.
We're a dangerous gang, I would say. Uh yeah, so sometimes people that people that bother you personally, that you have a personal distaste for, say things to you that are at the time out of pocket as fuck. However, the self-aware person over time may realize that despite that person annoying the fuck out of you, the thing that they said was correct. So that's pretty much what happened. Is someone who really steams my fucking clams, dude. Okay. Said some shit to me where I was like, whatever, fuck you. And then I was like, fuck, he's right. I have not been um, going out of my way to include the ladies, and I need to. It was never a. It was never a concerted thing where I was like, I don't want girls on Vishnu. That's ridiculous. But I definitely didn't reach out and build. And I just came to a time where I was like, I need to do that. So that's what I've been doing. And some of my favorite skiers of all time were women. One of my formative moments, I can picture it so perfectly. Do you remember Michelle Parker?
That name is
How old are
incredibly
you?
familiar.
I've never asked you. How old are you?
In the 3 years we've known each other, you've never asked me my age once. I'm 20. I'm turning 26 next month.
Okay. Michelle Parker was, I think she rode for K2, but she was, when I was like 12, 13, she had this like photo spread in Free Skier magazine where she was sliding this down flat down. And I remember hanging it up on my wall just because like her outfit was fly and the picture was so cool. And I just remember being like, damn, Michelle Parker's the shit. Or like Kaya Tursky was another one. Or Sarah Burke, rest in peace. Like
Yeah.
I remember watching the Helly Hansen promotional video called Happy Happy. And she does a fucking forward 10 in like 2001. So yeah, the long story short is like I was slacking. I was slacking on being like actively inclusive. I was sort of passively inclusive. And then I just realized that like there's just so much female talent out there that I was just not I was just not promoting it. I was not nurturing it. And that's so stupid to not nurture that talent. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I shifted, like I said, as soon as I became actively inclusive rather than passively inclusive, it fucking exploded because, these girls know what's up. They know what's up. They know that a lot of these big companies use female presence as like a token of virtue or something. And they actually don't give a fuck at all. I mean, they don't give a fuck about skiing generally, but especially they don't give a fuck about women skiing at all. And so I think, younger girls, you can't trick the younger generation. They're way too smart. They know when they see hollow virtue signaling bullshit now. You can't finesse them like before pre like iPhone, pre being born with a phone in your hand. You used to be able to put out these PR sculpted hollow look how much we care about women shit. You can't do that anymore. And I think these girls see that, and then I think the boys club thing is I think it's real. I mean, I used to be like more like a Republican ass guy about it in a way. Like old man at the dinner table being like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, like blah blah blah. But for real, like um a lot of men in the ski world view women skiing as like, aha, oh, that's cute. Oh, good for you. They don't actually want to see these young ladies shine. They don't, or they don't care either way.
Mm.
And it just so happened that like, now we haven't even talked about this, but I helped to open a ski shop.
No, we still have so much to talk about.
Uh, I helped open a ski shop in Salt Lake. It's not my shop. It's Depot Moran, who you've talked to, Lizard Stuff.
Yep.
I rent out a space in his shop, and then I run Vishnu out of it. And I think a big catalyst for women's Vishnu women's skiing was that ski shop, because the ski world is such a boys club vibe sometimes, behind the scenes especially. You don't really notice it until you're kind of behind the curtain and you're like, oh, what? That's a fucked up thing to say. What? You think that for real? Like, what? You know? And I think that it can be intimidating for young women to approach ski companies, especially over the internet, because they have this perception that they are like thought of as lesser than, and a lot of times they're correct that they're thought of as lesser than. But having a brick and mortar location made it so that a community of girls can like be in the shop in real life and see in real life that like I'm really with it. I'm not just lip service bullshitting. Like, come to the shop. We'll talk about skiing. What do you want to do? What are we doing? You know, that kind of thing. So that community aspect, I think, has driven a lot, like physical, a lot of, dude, I just said a word that I fucking hate, which is the community thing. It's such a marketing bullshit thing, but I'm talking literal in real life. Come to this shop. I'm there. Let's talk about skiing. And I think that made it feel like safer for girls to be like, oh, it is like I am a person. Like this company views me as a person and not like a chess piece for
Yes.
market.
Oh, that's such a great way to phrase it. Yeah.
So that kind of, and I owe Depot a lot for that. And also, I think I can come off as like a bit prickly and scary, kind of. If you don't know me, I look mad all the time. Because that's just how I'm of Eastern European descent, and I just look mad. It's just what it is. Check this out.
That's him overjoyed.
You know what I'm saying? It's him,
Yeah.
it's this guy.
Yeah.
But so I could see how girls especially would be like, the Emmett dude is like, he looks like I shouldn't talk to him, you know?
Yeah.
But then because of the ski shop, there's now a neutral zone where they can go and be appreciated and supported and nurtured in the way that they should be, like any other male skier. And I'm not by any means like trying to like pull some fucking I'm such a third wave feminist bullshit, like marketing wise.
Yeah.
I do personally feel that way about women's issues, but as far as, they just banned abortion in Arizona, which is fucking insane, dude. Insane. But I just like to cut through that. Like I said, the using women as a chess piece thing. I like to try to like cut through that and be like, no, this is real. And that's been the best thing about the ski shop for both female Vishnu skiers and male as well. Like, uh, I got tired of running this company through Instagram stories. It's fucking boring, bro, to just run a company through the internet. And like having a real shop atmosphere has reinvigorated my enjoyment of this, because I get to meet people in real life and talk to them in real life, and it's really, really important. And I didn't really predict how important it would be for me personally, like the enjoyment I would glean from that. So yeah, Yomi ski shop near Ninth and Ninth in Salt Lake. Come check it out. Uh, come get your ass kicked by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how like just given, and this is all, it all borders on stating the obvious, I guess. But it's crazy how, you give the right and this is in regards to women skiing, you give the right people a couple good opportunities, as you should, and you'd be amazed what happens. They're at fucking Dew Tour. They're like 50% of the super unknown semifinalists or something, close to that.
Yeah.
And all it took was me, um, all it took was someone talking shit to me
Hmm.
and me being uh more mature and self-reflective enough to be like,
Yeah.
fuck, he's right. Isn't that the worst?
It
Isn't that the
is.
worst when they're right? Fuck.
Yeah. I find that
Hate.
those people only land about 10% of the time, though.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to like be help. He was trying to be an asshole,
Yeah.
but and it was successful. But
Yeah.
uh, you got to know it just comes with age, I guess, is just being able to self-reflect and being less stubborn. And maybe my testosterone is going down because I'm getting older. I'm less,
Are we gonna start calling you low T Emmett?
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm like less high T psycho, but I'm much more like sensitive and sensitive to other people. I got to where I am by being as hard-headed and as stubborn as possible,
Hmm.
pretty much. Because that's what you have to be when you start a business, because everyone or most people are going to be casting doubt, which is natural. So being hard-headed and stubborn gets you far to a point. But then once you make it, you establish yourself. If you keep being stubborn, hard-headed, dickhead, fucking aggro guy, like you're gonna ruin it. So in the last 2 years or so, I've definitely fucking learned that. It's like, chill out. Let people help you is a recurring theme of this episode. Let people help you. It doesn't make you the Protestant farmer thing in my mind is finally dying out, where it's like, I need to die in the field with my crops type shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Mayflower Puritans. Those are
Yeah, the
my
Puritans.
that's a very Puritan mindset though. It is. And it's something that still to this day lives on where I'm from in the Midwest. Is like die in the field, you know, um, with my crops type shit. And I've just gotten better and better at realizing that that is like stupid and not helpful and just like a function of insecurity, basically.
Yeah.
It's like a function of uh thinking you're not good enough and trying to prove what am I trying to prove and to whom? It's like, what am I doing, dude? Just like chill out.
Yeah.
But
I think the way that you've involved the girls is good and it seems sincere. But I also think what's not discussed a lot with the women's skiing is like empowering them, say, do like make your like if you want to do something, just go out and do it. Don't wait for permission because I think a lot of what I've seen are like art like it seems like every other article on New Schoolers is like why aren't the men including the women? Like why doesn't Ghibli have a women's division? Why doesn't this thing that didn't exist a year ago not have a women's division yet? It's like the wealthiest skier in the world right now is a woman. Like women can create their own things. Shout out to Annabelle making her own clothing company. Like women are so sick and putting them in this infantile mindset where it's like, oh, they need like the men need to include them and the men need to spearhead this. Yes, the men need to for sure like be their advocates and
Mhm.
for sure be their supporters. But it's not on the men to create like this path. Like I think that like the girl I'm seeing right now is a snowboarder, and there's a whole group of snowboarders called the Part Time Babes Club that put on their own rail jams and like are just their own force for women, and they're fucking sick, and they're not sitting there saying why aren't the men doing this? Why aren't the men doing that? The women are just like, oh, we're just gonna go out and do some cool shit. But that is to add to your saying, like, I feel like you're including them in a very organic, genuine way, and it empowers them to, you know, fucking take the
Yeah.
flag and run with it. You know?
Not to be a pussy lib here, but I think that's just leftover like patriarchy shit in the sense that subconsciously a lot of women are conditioned by the patriarchy to think that they need men's help.
Mm,
Like you said, it's nice to have advocacy from men, but I mean, especially the younger Vishnu girls, I brainwash the fuck out of them positively.
yeah.
Like, don't listen to fucking anything anyone says. You are that girl. Like, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Just who cares?
Yeah,
The
just do
worst
it.
they, the worst they can say is no. If a dude at Park City talks shit to you, punch them. Who cares? Fuck them. And it works. It works. Like, it's just good to see. It's good to see girls who were unsure become sure.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Riley Warnick is a good example of that, where she is progressing at skiing so fast, and she's really coming into her own really quickly as far as being like, I don't need approval. And that's awesome. Annabelle, Street 22, starting her own thing. Um, Maria, uh, Maria Sunshine on Instagram, working, moving up the ladder at Woodward PC, making moves. It's just cool to see. And like I said, all it took from me was just like a little bit of maturity. That's literally, isn't that crazy? All it took was just a little bit of self reflection to be like, I'm wasting. There's a whole pool of girls out there that love to ski, that can do it on a high level, and I'm just wasting all of this talent by being like stubborn, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and the thing about, yeah, like nothing, honestly, nothing is better than the female consumer. Not just in skiing, but in the world. Like they fucking put their money up for shit that they like way more than men do. Way more. Like the girls are like riding for each other. Like it's sick. And I love to see it. Um yeah, it's just been really fun. It's been
Yeah.
really fun.
And that's not them occupying a man's space or a men only space. That's just them in their own space. You know? We're not, yeah.
And occupying a men's space because fuck them.
Yeah.
They get to do that if they fucking feel like it. I get pretty heated sometimes in the Yomi shop. I start fucking fuck them. Don't
Yeah.
let these people. You do whatever you want. You fucking go to do tour. You do your run. Who gives? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm in it. I'm in it for sure. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just tired of the whiny articles. Like I get what they're advocating for, but it's like Eileen Goo's got millions of dollars. Like where's the articles about how she's not doing enough for women's skiing, you know? Like come on, don't like I don't not everything needs to be like it's like a like, I don't know. I think I got tight when they were like, why doesn't Jib League in its very first inaugural season already have like the perfect solution for including women? It's like, dude, relax a little bit. I get that you could say it's like indicative of a bigger issue.
kind of it is kind of.
Yeah, but it's like I mean, then you look at their second season, and at the Tahoe stop, there's girls getting in. It's like sometimes things just take more than one season to take off before you're like, oh, they fucking hate women, this, that, and the other thing. Like it just takes
Patience
a
is a,
little.
patience is a virtue. I mean, I think
Yeah.
the reason that some women think that is our fault
Okay.
as men is like is they assume that that is the case because we haven't reached out enough to build up. So they're kind of right. They're kind of right. They're kind of wrong in that sense. Wrong in the sense of like no one's keeping you from doing anything.
From doing anything yourself. Yeah,
But they
it's not a
kind
black and white thing. It's like it is. It
of
is.
are.
Yeah.
They kind of are behind the
Yeah.
scenes. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. But you
Yeah.
better believe with when there's a female Jib League that there's gonna be Vishnu girls there. We're a fucking invasive species. I mean, you saw it this year
Dutoria.
with Dusor and with Jib League with Vishnu. It's like Ferdinand Dahl's he's a good man. I support him. And I like Capiche, and I like anybody in skiing who has figured out a way for them to make money without having to like tap dance for corporations. I love that. That includes like Jackson Carceter and Luke Votaw with the Clover thing. That includes like the Vulgus group. That includes all of these people that are realizing finally that the old guard of skiing having to like write emails to some middle management dude that's never skied in his life and begging them for money, like you don't have to fucking do that anymore. You
No.
don't have to do that anymore, so don't. It's their loss, the management. It's these companies' loss because they don't know what the fuck is going on. So anyone who's making their own way in skiing in that way, I fuck with big time. Ferdinand Dahl as well. I reached out to him to be like, hey, what is it hitting for to have like some sponsorship shit in Ghibli? And it was out of budget. For the time, if I would have reached out probably in the fall, it would have been
Yeah.
fine. But for this time, he was, I got big dogged a little bit, which happens.
Right.
But what I was gonna say is either way, Vishnu's coming. Either way. So whether I'm giving money to Jib League or not, Vishnu people are showing up, they're getting in, they're winning, and you can't stop it. It's a snowball rolling downhill. And it has less to do with me than ever. It has more to do with just, like I said, invasive species, fucking lionfish in the Gulf of Mexico. They're fucking in there, fucking shit up. They're in there like causing problems
Yeah.
in a good way. And so that's fun to see, is that even though, and I'm not like dissing Fernandel by any means, or any of the Jib League shit. I think it's a really cool way to have a competition. I'm just saying, like, whether I'm giving money or not, we're going to be there. So expect it,
Yeah.
bitch.
Oh man. All right.
That's just my attitude, though. That's my attitude. And that's the attitude that I instill, or I try to instill with everyone that skis for Vishnu, is like, they can't physically keep you from going. So what are they going to do? They're going to remove you
No,
physically?
I love seeing all the Vishnu stuff, especially the women's side during. I mean, even the men's side was so sick too during Dew Tour. Like Egan's insane now. From last season to this season, I feel like Andrew Egan is that dude right
Is
now.
that, I mean, he's always been that dude, but like I said earlier about Young Snow, like you just it's that 10,000 hours thing, which I don't really think is all the way true, but you just reach a certain point where you become undeniable.
Yeah,
Undeniable. And Egan is really, I mean, if you look at his video, the street parts and shit, like he's always been, even amongst the labored bros,
oh yeah.
like
No, he's always been ill, but I feel it seems like this season it's like fucked up.
he's so composed,
Yeah,
both in skiing and personality and like presence. Like he's just, there's never a time where I'm out skiing with Andrew Egan, especially when we were in Norway. Like If Egan's at the top of the thing, he's gonna be all right. You know, there's certain people when they ski where I'm like, oh man, holy fuck, this is crazy. Jesus Christ. But with Egan, I'm like, make sure that shit's rolling. Make sure you hit that red button because
Yeah.
it's going down. It's going down.
So sick.
And yeah, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of him on a friendship level. Like, I'm just really proud. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I'll fucking, when do you think this is going to come out?
Soon.
Okay.
I'm trying to turn these around pretty quickly.
Maybe I won't spill the beans then.
Spill some beans. Actually, maybe we could beep it out. If it's
Dude, okay, I'm gonna tell you.
yeah.
Okay, you got to promise, Pinky,
Yeah. I think
that you're gonna bleep all this out.
yeah.
It'll be funny. You should do it for like the promo for the episode if you want.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Dylan Manley is getting a pro model wet, as we know. It's Mirepoix getting a pro model key, and the graphic is a painting of like who's like literally holding that was in that museum that this was in.
Yeah.
And then is getting a pro model key as well. And his top sheet is this like that I saw at the Met. And one more. There's going to be an exclusive tank. So bleep all of that. It would be so funny if it was just like an extended bleep. like a 30-second bleep. Well, I trust you. Don't fucking.
No, I won't. We won't spill any of that because that's so sick. But yeah.
Here's more beans. Level 1 is making a movie again.
Yeah. Owen leaked that with Ryan doing his off topic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah, he was filming with him. Yeah. Yeah.
And behind the scenes, I've been breaking the boys off with financial considerations, like for travel and all that. But
yeah,
like I said, it's time public appreciation.
Yeah,
That's it. So both the key top sheets are pro models. 2 of the wet ones are pro models, Cal and Dylan. And then there's a wide that's like unofficially a pro model, but I'm not gonna announce it because it's not official. But it's from works in a place. She took a cool picture. I'm using that picture for this. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to. There'll be some careful editing on that.
That's gonna be really funny. That's gonna be really funny, dude. Yeah, because I would just release it, but like it'll be a public thing in a matter of weeks. I just don't want to spoil the.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people know like somewhat, but
yeah, they can piece it together.
Top sheet and is pretty big because that's those are the dogs, dude. Those are the boys.
That's gonna be so ill.
And then I just keep running out of fucking. I don't have enough room for all these pro model. At a certain point, like all of the top sheets are going to be pro model top sheets. I think eventually, there's just no other way, really. Because I was going to do like a labor specific one.
Yeah,
I was going to do the limited edition for this year as a labor one, but I just didn't quite come together, like visually on my end.
Do I have to bleep that out? I might need to send you this.
No, you don't have to bleep that part out because that'll be probably next year.
Remember episode 1, all the editing we had to do.
We had to do a little bit of editing because I was running my mouth a little bit reckless. I was trying to take the high road, dude. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be
I feel you.
Trying to be diplomatic out here.
Yeah, you're doing your thing. All right, let's see. I've been loving your weekly radio show, live stream, whatever you want to call it, with Reed.
Yeah.
And I feel like at one point you might have mentioned having interest in that. And then I think you mentioned that your mom said, like, less is more,
Yeah.
like in terms of your public time. But it seems like you completely disregarded that weekly live, 1 hour every week, unfiltered.
Yeah. Well, I disregarded it kind of. I think that to fully disregard it would be to like post them after we're done and like promote it, but I don't. I purposely don't. I purposely like post day of and then delete it. So that
It's
way I
such a
can.
bummer because I would love to listen to the ones that I've missed. I think
Yeah,
most
it is,
people
but
would.
it also is a good thing because then I can like show things and say shit. Like I'll like I'll show top sheets, I'll like show videos I'm working on. I'll like, say shit that I don't necessarily want to be, things that are like surprises. And since only like 80 to 100 people are watching,
Yeah.
it makes it more special, I think.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
like
all Reed's idea. Yeah.
it's a great idea. Just hang out in the shop. Do you guys close the shop when you're recording, or is it just like you walk into the store at that time and it's like boom, you're fucking on an Instagram live stream?
It's closed because I work the shop on Sundays, so Depot can go skiing.
Yeah.
So we close at 6, and that's when the live stream starts.
Oh, sick. Okay. I got to
Uh,
see the shop. I haven't been to Salt Lake in a minute.
you should come to Yomi and we can do a Yomi thing with Depot.
That'd be very sick. Honestly, yeah, that'd be the best way to do it because I want to get the full Yomi rundown, a la, small business style.
Yeah.
But it feels not. It feels right. It doesn't feel right to do it with you now without Depot here.
I mean, yeah, it's his store,
Yeah.
percent. It's
Yeah.
not my store.
Yeah.
But I definitely have a strong presence. I help he's 25, 26. He's good. He has good business instincts, but I just have a little bit more experience with shit, so I help him with maybe do that. Not that. Do that, not that. But for the most, I mean, yeah, I would never take credit for the store. Like it's all him. He found the building.
Yeah. Could you
Um,
like, if for anyone that doesn't know, anyone that's not social media addicted or not living in Salt Lake, could you explain kind of what the shop is and like what's being sold there, blah blah blah?
yeah, so the short story is that I was moving out of the hell garage and needed a workspace. And it just so happened that Depot hit me up and was like, yo, there's no cool ski shops in Utah, which is true. Um, we should start one. And I was like, that's fucking insane, but okay. And so I met with him about it. And he was walking by. So Ninth and Ninth in Salt Lake is like this like hip little uh shop consumer restaurant type area. And he was walking by this building that from the outside it looks like a house. It looks like your grandma's house, but it's very rare in the sense that it's zoned for residential and business, which is really unusual.
Yeah.
Really unusual, especially nowadays when big businesses are buying all these things up and building fucking luxury condos. So he got the hook on this, and it is like a one, two, three, four bedroom house that's zoned for business as well. And he lives in the back section.
Is he renting it or does he own it?
He
Owning
rents.
it. No,
He rents it.
owning it would be so baller.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
within the dude.
No,
It's
not on
some
the
of the
budget.
it's some of the most expensive real estate in Salt Lake currently. So he rents it from an old lady who should be in a mental institution, but she's not. So that's a whole other story. But um, the idea is to sell his stuff, lizard stuff, and then Vishnu stuff, and then arsenic, and then 4 to 5 other like Utah specific companies, as well as like vintage stuff. And I knew it was going to work just because Depot, like I said, like he's got it, whatever it is. Like we were talking about earlier, juice,
He's got it. Yeah.
juice, sauce, motion, bounce, whatever. But the level to which it has succeeded has been like fucking insane to me.
It's so sick.
So crazy. Like we got regulars. It's amazing. They
Yeah.
come in and I'm like, you again? Okay.
Well, it's like what skating has had forever, where like the shop is where you just hang out.
Yeah.
You know.
The thing that when he met with me about it, I was reading about, do you know what like a third place is? You ever
Yes.
heard of that expression?
Yes.
And how like, so yeah, for people that don't know, it's like um it was kind of coined as like a marketing technique originally, where you have like your third place. So you have your first place is your house, your second place is your work,
Or
and your
school.
third
Yeah.
or school, and your third place would be somewhere like back in the day it'd be like a pub, or like
Country club.
a club or a pub or bowling alley, the place,
Arcade.
yep,
Yeah.
the social thing. It's kind of being eliminated in America.
Third place is online now.
Exactly.
You have a subreddit now. You have an Instagram page. Blah blah blah.
So that's kind of when he said, I was like, oh, fuck, we're starting a third place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what it has become. You might come into Yomi and see like your favorite skier just kind of fucking chilling. So it's pretty cool.
Dude,
I actually watched someone buy a pair of Cal Carson skis while Cal was there. But he was like in the back. And I was like, hold on a second. I went and got him and was like, hey, look.
yeah,
Oh. So
dude,
it's cool. It's really cool. It's really wholesome.
yeah,
And Depoe's so sharp, dude. The coolest thing about it is his consignment program. So like nowadays, every cool kid in America is like a bin thrifter type, like wholesale vintage searching, like scavenger hunt style. And he has a whole network of 18 to 21-year-old like cool kids that just shop for, or that try to find cool vintage stuff full time.
yeah.
And then they bring him heaters and then he sells it out of the shop. It's really cool. It's like a little ecosystem.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love it. I love it.
That's
10
awesome.
years ago, I was 10. It's crazy because 10 years ago, pre Vishnu, I was working in retail.
Where were you working?
I was working at Tommy Bahama outlet in the mall.
Oh, shot.
And then 10 years later, I'm back in retail, baby. Tommy Bahama kind of taught me how to do what I'm doing now, in the sense that like it's a clothing brand that I didn't care about or think was cool. And so I was able to take a step back and watch people that really liked it and understand why, without the bias of liking it myself. So just
I feel that way about Bape. I see people like Bape, and I'm like, why? What? And then, but it's nice when you're not intoxicated by it.
do you want me to explain why?
Go ahead. I'd love to. I mean, I started kind of learning about it through that. Not that it's the same person, but like that book about the hundreds kind of already got the wheels turning. But yeah, I'd like to know why you like it.
So the reason why Bape is important.
Yeah.
So like the vintage scene in America as far as it being cool to wear old clothes comes from Japan. And the reason it started in Japan is because, in the same way, a lot of Americans like anime and shit are like Japanophiles, otaku vibes. A lot of Japanese people are Ameriphiles. They really value our culture, things that we don't even really think are cool or interesting,
Yeah.
is really cool to them. So this dude Nigo, in I think 1990, I want to say 94, maybe, because there's pictures of Biggie wearing bathing apes. So, but Nigo was a Japanese guy who was a vintage collector. Um, Back before it was a thing. So he was, collecting Levi's jean jackets, which at the time were like, anyone in America has that. What the fuck? It's not cool. But in Japan, it was
Mm.
sick. So he was like intoxicated and enthralled with American rap culture, not in like a exploitative way, like in a genuine, like, the way that Black Americans dress is fucking so cool to me, Nigo, a Japanese guy.
Mm.
So his idea was to create that for Japan. So one of the first things he did was take the Air Force One low, which is a quintessential shoe if you're a sneaker guy and has been for many years, and rebuild it in his image for a Japanese audience who loves American shit. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So he made the Bapesta. So the Bapesta is the Japanese version of the Air Force One. So, but yeah, but the reason that it became important is because rappers, specifically like Pharrell, uh like saw that this was happening and saw that this dude Nigo had a genuine appreciation for Black American culture, and went over there and met him and was like, "Oh, this dude, this is not like a guy that's like exploitated. Like, he really loves this shit." And from there, it blew up into Pharrell, and then Lil Wayne wearing Bape, and now Nigo sold his share of the company in like 2011 ish. So anything after that is like not really what I'm a Bape head for sure, as you know, but the old Bape that Nigo designed is really what's up. And it's just important because it's the crossover between Japanese and American culture, them being like, and then like him sort of ripping off Black American culture, and then Black American rappers being like, "Oh, you're doing it right. This is sick." And
Yeah.
then it came over here, and now it's the company that we know. So
It's kind
that's the Bape history lesson.
yeah.
So you don't have to like it, but you got to understand why it was like crucially important.
Yeah.
Because Japanese people, I always say this, if you have a cool fashion clothing idea, if you look hard enough, a Japanese person did it in the 90s.
Yeah.
No matter what, dude, no matter what, anything you think you have a unique idea, Japanese guy did it or woman did it.
Yeah.
So,
And you haven't been to Japan, correct?
no,
The thrifting there,
but
insane. Not even like, oh, this is the best store in town. Every thrift store in Japan, in any city in Japan, there's like dozens of thrift shops, and they're all the best thrift shop you've ever been into.
they
But
invented it.
some of the shit's kind of whack though. Sometimes I
What do you mean?
saw I saw a Carhartt with like an Enterprise Rent-A-Car kind of patch on it being sold for like 300, 400 bucks, and it was like on a mannequin and shit. Like they were really stoked on the rental car patch, but it would, sometimes it doesn't hit,
Well,
but a lot of the other shit was really cool.
their culture is so insular that it's like
Yeah.
anything American. Like, we could get real deep into the whatever, but there's this Japanese company called Number Nine, and one time the designer just had people go on the runway in the 90s wearing band tees, which was not cool at the time. But like you saw these models in Japan wearing Nirvana t-shirts.
Yeah.
It was like a huge deal. And then Americans saw that and were like, oh, our old clothes are cool.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like wearing old clothes was what poor people did, not desirable.
Well,
Once
there's
they
that. Yeah.
once they saw another culture once we saw another culture outside of our own doing it, it was like we were like looking back and being like, oh,
Yeah.
it is cool, you know? So
Dude,
we owe it to them. The whole TikTok, Instagram, vintage thrifter thing, we owe it
to the
to
Japanese. Yeah.
Japanese dudes that were like collecting Levi's jackets that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how the cultural crossover led to that.
Dude. Nike has Japanese roots. I don't know if you've ever read Shoe Dog, but he was working for a he was working for a Japanese company selling their shoe in America. I think it was called the Tiger or something like that. Look into
Yeah,
yeah,
Osaka Tiger. Yeah.
yeah. Look into that. That's cool. Nike has its roots in Japan as well.
Nice. Yeah, we kind of invaded Vietnam and Cambodia so that Nike could make their shoes there eventually, if you think about it.
If you think about it, it's like a long, long way.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It is. We kind of like
It's a very political episode that we're
we
doing.
fucked those countries up insanely so
Oh yeah.
that 30 years, 40 years later, they could make Air Force Ones there.
Here's a great one for you. So I think I'm probably gonna fuck up the stat, but it's as ridiculous as what I'm about to say. In Laos, during the Vietnam War, the number of bombs being dropped, like I think in one day, like at a certain point, the rate of bomb droppage was all of the bombs being dropped during World War II every single day.
Yes.
That's how much we were bombing Laos. And they still have unexploded ordnance everywhere. Like the UXOs are a huge, huge issue in Laos. Like,
Oh, yeah.
whatever, 60 years later.
They had to Henry Kissinger, arguably the most influential and most evil man of the 20th century, I would say.
Who has died since we last spoke.
Yep. He is the one that brought the situation in Vietnam to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And when he did, he had to show them on a map.
Where it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, there's like communist uprisings here. And there's money to be made eventually. And if we go in under the guise of like fighting communism, like there's big money in this shit. And they were like, are you sure, dude? And he's like, yes, bro, I'm fucking the devil. Yes. And it's crazy you said that they were bombing Cambodia because they didn't realize it was Cambodia.
That's crazy.
Literally. They were just dropping bombs and people were like, yo, this is the wrong country. And they were like, what?
Yeah. Crazy, dude.
Henry Kissinger, dude, he is burning in hell, dude, truly.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta go to Japan, dude. We went to Hiroshima and just just this whole past year of all the Oppenheimer crap and I was in New Mexico, so I got to go to Los Alamos and see a couple of different Manhattan Project sites. Very different spin on the whole thing at the American historical sites versus Japan. In America, Los Alamos, the whole town is all about how amazing scientific discovery is and the whole Oppenheimer movie was can you believe they thought he was a communist? That's fucked up. And then you go to Japan and it's here's a drawing of kids with their skin melted off trying to jump in the river right after the bomb went off. And it's oh, yeah, there's a much more human side to all this history scientific crap. It's just completely skipped over. They're oh, but it's justified. Think of all the lives saved if the war went on. It's no, dude. You melted kids that just were just, I mean, they're kids, they're innocent bystanders, you know, and there's a whole city of innocent bystanders, and people are like, well, it must be justifiable somehow.
We
I don't know.
turned into these, turned
Yeah,
them into shadows.
yeah, dude, it's an emotional place to go to. So I think, yeah, change my perspective on that for sure.
What one was first?
Hiroshima, and then Nagasaki was afterwards.
Nagasaki was for the Russians.
Just like for morale
What?
boost for the Russians.
No, like from what I've read and seen, it was like we dropped the first one
Yeah,
to be like, quit playing.
yeah,
This war is over.
yeah,
And then we were like, haha, psych. Drop the second one to be like, hey, Soviet Union.
yeah. Look what we can do.
See, you see what the fuck? Yeah, that's what we
Dude,
that's what,
it's honestly, yeah, very powerful. Like just crazy museum, dude. Just the horrible things.
yeah.
Horrible. But you gotta go to Japan, dude. Japan's a sick spot. I'm actually surprised you haven't been to such like a ski rite of passage. I feel like,
I think that's kind of why I haven't gone.
dude, it's worth it. Like I'm a big hater for things that people love that I don't understand, and
We have
then
that in common. We have that in
yeah,
common.
yeah, like it's actually that sick.
I would like to go. I was thinking about it, and then we went to Norway instead.
Yes, it's okay. So I wanted to ask you about that. Norway, was that just a strictly child labor endeavor? Are you filming for any Vishnu stuff? What's going on with that?
Just labor.
Okay, just labor. Oh yeah,
Uh,
okay. Yes,
yeah,
you weren't answering my question. You were correcting that it's no longer child labor. It's just
yeah.
labor now.
They're not they're not children anymore.
Yeah, they're grown labor.
Grown man. Grown man. Shit. I had like a unofficial list of things I always wanted to do with Vishnu, and one of the final boxes to check off was international travel on company dime. And it was like this year, like the worst snow season in North America,
Yeah,
metropolitan area wise, ever, especially in the Midwest. So the old reliable like Minneapolis shit not happening. And the labor bros, um, it was basically like we gotta go somewhere where there's not gonna be a video, right? So they they premiered their video last year with the magma video and made a fucking killing, dude. It was insane how much money they made. I was so proud of them. And they used that money to buy tickets. And then they asked me if I wanted to go. And I was like, yes, obviously. And I got there for the first 2 weeks. We were in Oslo, first week and a half. And then I had a conversation with Dylan like a month previous where I was kind of bullshitting and I was like, dude, we should fucking let's go to Europe to go skiing. Like we should do this, you know? And when the Labor Bros invited me, it was on short notice. So like I bought a really expensive plane ticket and just sent it over there. And Dylan was mad at me. He was mad at me because he was like, you said that we were gonna. He was partly kidding, but he also wasn't. So I was like, okay, you're right. So the labor dudes went home after 2 weeks, and then I bought plane tickets for um, Egan and Cal stayed, and then I bought plane tickets for Luke Roberts and Kyson and Dylan to come to Norway. And I picked them up at the airport, and then we drove up to Lillehammer and we spent around 2 weeks there. So it was a full
dude, that's a long ass trip.
month. I probably will never financially recover, but it was worth it for sure. It was worth it. Dude, I was out there, you know, people that know me know that I'm not a great planner at all. So there were times where I had to spend money that was just like reckless, dude, but I had to do it. Like we had to get rental cars and all of the vans were taken at this small airport. And then it happened to be like spring vacation across Europe. and I didn't know that because I fucking am not all there. So we go to rent a car and they have two cars left. That's it. They had like the European version of the Ford Mustang SUV and a Land Cruiser. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's what we got to do.
Yeah, Land
I'm
Cruiser is
not-
kind of sick.
I was like, well, we don't have a choice, so I guess we're doing it. How much? You're like, $5,000. I was like, oh, great. So I had to I maxed my credit card out twice.
Dude, that's
But
that's a lot of
that's
money,
that's
bro.
what you get. It's my fucking fault for traveling by the seat of my pants.
Yeah,
It was worth it though. It was fun. We got a lot of clips. I think I mean the labor trip was insane. And then the elder Vishnu trip was more, I mean, we skied and we got clips and shit, but it was more of like a reward of loyalty, kind of like you guys were there. You guys were there when we were driving a van with no seat belts across the country, with no muffler and no seat belts across the country.
yeah,
So come on out to Norway, and
yeah.
it was sick. I liked it a lot. I like, I don't know. I love the Norwegian people. They got a good thing going on over there. That
Of
whole
course,
country. It's
of
just
course.
really nice. But the reason the country is really nice is because they lack the character of Americans as far as personality goes.
Yeah,
Like in Norway, you can walk everywhere. Um, you can walk everywhere and people are really, it's just peaceful and nice, but no one is ever gonna like bring an AR-15 to a grocery store, for example. And that's what I love about America. We got fucking crazy people here, dude. And
yeah,
that's kind of the fun part in a way. Norway is just a little boring because it's so nice.
yeah,
That's how it has to be.
yeah,
Uh, so I did miss, there's no crazy people
yeah,
because they like take care of them as a society. They
yeah,
like go out of their way to like make sure that society is equitable for everyone. So you don't have people like doing fentanyl in a tent there.
yeah. They just
But
scoop
that's
them up and plop them somewhere else. I
well, they
suppose.
take care of them as they should. But the American charm really is to me
Yeah,
that we're a huge country full of fucking insane people.
yeah.
That's kind of what makes it fun.
It is.
Until you get shot at a grocery store, less fun. But
Dude,
I did miss the character of America when I was there for sure.
dude, you would love Japan. I think you would have a true culture shock there. Everyone is so well behaved.
Yeah.
The streets are spotless.
Yep.
The streets are quiet, and you could. I don't think you drink anymore, but you could drink anywhere you want. Like just open container at all times, and that would never fly in America because the most annoying people on the trip were Americans, of course. Yeah. So,
Did you find yourself limiting the volume of your voice actively?
well,
'Cause that's an American thing. That's something we
yeah.
do. We're
I
loud.
like in public. In general, I try not to be loud. But yeah, you have to spot check your homies. Be
You
like,
have
dude,
to actively be like in Norway as well. It was like I'd be talking in the grocery store and people would be like,
why is this guy yelling? Yeah,
"This is just my speaking voice." But yeah, I had to like
yeah. I gotta reel it in a little bit.
the way that I would sum up Norway as a country, and maybe they have this kind of similar to Japan. Here's how I would sum up the Norwegian experience. You're in a grocery store. You're looking at some sort of fish product in a can. I don't know. And you feel like a presence next to you. And you look over, and there's just like a person there. And they need to get by, but they would never say, like, excuse me, get out of my way. Like, they will, interacting with people in public is not it's not that it's not allowed, it's that it's just not cultural. So they will literally wait for you to move before they go about
Yeah.
their day. And that kind of sums up the Norwegian experience that I had of being like at a school on a school day, middle of the day, skiing off the roof of the school, and people are just walking by. It's not that they want you to be skiing or that they like it. It's that they don't even acknowledge that you're there.
It's kind of,
It's like being a ghost.
yeah.
I felt like I was like a ghost.
Could they clock that you were foreign, like from a mile away? Or were they like when like you're checking out the grocery store? Are they speaking to you in Norwegian?
So what some of our Norwegian connects I met up with Magnus Norstang, who's the Vishnu guy, and then Sivervol, and I was kind of talking to them about cultural stuff. And they pretty much said Norwegians all speak English, but they rather not.
Yeah.
So what you get at the grocery store is uh hi, I am American, and I put my thing, and they go, yeah, kittening, and I go, ah. And they go, yeah, kittening, and I go, ha ha ha, and they go, do you need a bag? And I'm like, yes, yes. So that was kind of like what it was like, you know. It's like
Yeah.
but again, like it's the kind of place where you get on the train and people put their bag next to them. Don't sit next to people.
Yeah.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't make eye contact.
They just
It's
love to be left alone. I love that. I love a culture that
very,
just loves to be left alone.
yeah. At
Yeah.
the same time, though, they like Americans because um, brash, loud, outspoken people are really uncommon. So when they meet an American, it's kind of fun. They
Yeah.
kind of get to come out of their Norwegian Scandi shell and be talk and like converse. I
Yeah.
had to explain the concept of shooting the shit to Magnus, which is a very American, specifically Midwest thing,
Yeah.
which is like striking up a conversation with a stranger about nothing in particular.
Yeah.
And that concept was insane to them. I was like, yeah, no, that's just like how Americans are, you know? So I had to sort of I explained that to them, and they thought that was really funny
It's awesome.
to Americans. But they like us in the sense that we are like a novel treat
Yeah.
to an extent.
Yeah. I would say that Japan is the opposite. They do not care that you're there. They'll ignore you in public because they're like, oh, they're just trying to figure out how to get around. Like that's what my sister told me beforehand. They kind of like get out of your way because they know that you're like a bull in a china shop that just like has no clue what's going on. So they just kind of
Reliability out there.
yeah. None of them speak English, or like they probably some of them do, but like most of the time you are really struggling to communicate, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, and I realized, we were like figuring out on the trip, like why don't they speak English? Because like they're fully independent. Like all these, like a lot of countries that are based on tourism, you go to Central America, South America, speaking English is like a big economic asset. Like you could speak to the tourists.
Right.
Japan, they have their shit together to such a degree that there's no economic incentive for them to learn English.
They
They're
don't
like, why do
give
I care? Like I don't care. I speak Japanese. We run this bitch.
It happens in their economy as well. Like they have like North Face, for example, has a specific Japanese. The Japanese North Face and the American North Face are two different companies because Japan like doesn't care or
Dude,
need
North Face there was so expensive. It's like
purple.
Canada Goose type of pricing there.
It's a different company completely. So
Yeah.
it's like made in Japan. It's like I said, it's very insular. So that kind of makes it interesting. I
Yeah.
think also in Norway, like they don't, I wouldn't say they don't mind Americans because they don't like any, you know, they don't want to talk, which I
Yeah.
love. It's a country of minding your own business. But Norway is sort of like off the beaten path enough as far as tourists. They don't really have like bad experiences with Americans like they would have in like France or something where they
Yeah.
talk with us. So that's kind of nice. It's like the only Americans that go to Norway, it seems, most of the time are people that like know how to act. Just
Yeah,
because there's way less Americans going there,
yeah,
I guess.
I like that.
Yeah.
Might have to go. I mean, I've been, but not like it was like just kind of like a surface. Like you could go somewhere for 4 weeks and be driving around and like really get into it, or you could just kind of be there for a week, kind of putzing around, seeing the surface level shit. So that's what I did in Norway when I went. Whenever
Oh, I
that
didn't know
was.
you went there.
I went there probably going into college. Like my cousin got married in England, so I was
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
I
Okay,
did like
yeah.
a solo trip there. I was like 19, and then just rode some trains around and just was
Yeah.
figuring out traveling alone for the first time. Kind of sick.
It was fun. It was really expensive.
Yeah, I noticed that as
But
well.
the trade-off is that the money that you pay goes towards making the country better instead of just like buying bombs from Boeing.
Yeah,
So that's kind of the nice part is like like when I bought a pair of Air Force, I bought a polo sweatsuit and some Air Forces from the mall in Oslo, and
yeah,
it's like a 30% luxury tax.
you
But
love that. Yeah,
you know that that money is going towards building a bridge,
yeah.
whatever, and not just like chemical weapons or whatever. So,
Yes.
so that's cool.
Yeah, I love it. All right, we got 20 minutes.
Let's
We got 20 minutes before I gotta go to a birthday party.
true. Let's talk Israel Palestine.
Yes, let's
No,
get
I'm
down.
kidding.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty of what has happened since we've been gone. So, okay, 10 years of Vishnu. That was our stated goal for this. 10 years. What do you think? You and Reed touched on something the other day on your live. Somebody was asking about what it's like to be in the ski scene, and you guys gave very funny answers about being at a party, talking to some bum, literal or otherwise, until like early in the morning, or like seeing your hero like brag about what you have your story that you use, the specific trick that he was bragging about.
Yeah.
Do you have any more thoughts about that? Is being in the scene overrated?
I think being in any scene is overrated, just in the sense that once you get in any scene, you realize that what you thought it was is not what it actually is. And I think that goes for any sort of scene, whether it be like music or art or skiing or sports or whatever, that
Yeah.
people are just people. And when you are seeking out being in that scene, you sort of idealize what it is. And then the truth of the matter is that it's just like anything else. Once you get there, you're there. And so then the mystique sort of vanishes.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then you look around, you're like, oh, these are like a lot of people with like drug issues and like real life problems, and not a ton of future prospects if they're like really if they don't live a balanced life. There's a
but
lot.
that's the same. I'm telling you, it's the same for any sort of
Oh
scene
yeah,
that you go through. Like my friend Serge was I mean, he was a poppin' house DJ in Los Angeles, and I went and visited him for a weekend. And I had, visions in my head of like, Los Angeles, glamorous, like it's this, it's that. And it is, but at the same time, it's like a lot of people who are just addicted to cocaine.
yeah.
That's and
But
that's
that's like, dude, that's everywhere. It's great. Like it's so it's like every group's the same. Really, you go to college, it's the same. You go into any group, it's like just the same kind of mix of people having the same issues.
everyone's just out walking their dog.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I'd say like if you're a young person who's into skiing, you want to be like in the scene, whether that's in Salt Lake City or wherever, just the best thing that you can do is um, you control your expectations. So eliminate them. Whatever you think it's gonna be, don't worry about that. Just do your thing that you want to do your best. And when you get there or not. But either way, whatever scene you become a part of is going to be the same, different shades of the same color in anything. I haven't been involved in a scene like in any way that wasn't the same
Yeah.
at a certain level. Everyone is uh, human beings. You know, they're whether you go to whether you're at like a convention in Las Vegas with everyone's got a Louis Vuitton wallet, or you're at Road 39 at Mount Hood with a bunch of stinky guys. Like everyone is like a human being with problems, with addiction, with mental shit, with
Or they
aspirations.
or they
All
have their shit together. Yeah. There's just every
all
type
the
of person.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same. So don't sweat about it too much. And then you might realize that there is no scene ultimately in a on a deeper level that like you the participant are creating the thing.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Yes, like I think that people underestimate their impact on what a community is. Like they
You,
like by being part of it, you unless you're just entirely passive and entirely a consumer, like you when you interact with something, you affect it. You know, like and
whether
there's a
you
lot of
realize
power
it or
when you
not,
accept that.
yeah, whether you realize it or not, like the scene is you. The scene is the people, and you are the people. So don't think
Yeah,
about it too much. Just
yeah,
don't think about it, and just remember that I was talking to Dylan about this the other day because he was talking about this top sheet and how he's like he was jokingly was like, oh, this is my magnum opus or whatever.
yeah,
And I was thinking, I don't think there is such a thing. You just keep going. Like whatever you think is your ultimate achievement, you'll do it maybe, and then you'll be like, oh fuck, what next? You
yeah,
know? So that's kind of how life has been for me. It's like I'm checking shit off a list and then I'm like, and maybe it's just again to be a pussy liberal, maybe it's just like the capitalistic society of the desire for permanent growth all the time. But I find that like the more shit I check off the list, the more things appear on the list.
yeah.
But don't put too much into one. I'm going to do this and it's going to be my crowning achievement and but because you'll only be disappointed in one way or another. Just make a thing, do a thing the best you can for the sake of your own fulfillment and the fulfillment of other people around you.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself with don't limit yourself with your goals,
Yeah.
I think would be
No,
something that I would tell myself when I
yeah,
was
that's also what I ask you. Like 10 years of insights. Is there anything else that stands out to you? Like, I wish I did it this way instead of this way. I mean, obviously everything leads to you learn from your missteps, but what have you
uh
gained in these 10 years in terms of?
I should have pursued a career in music, to be honest.
Yeah, you shared that in the live stream that you were an emo singer at one point.
I was. I was. My voice is I'm a average singer, but my voice is pitched really well for like pop punk emo music. And so and my brother's a musician, so I really liked music and I really liked to sing and I really wanted to do it, but I felt weird because my brother was doing it already. So I was like, I don't want to do something else. But in hindsight, like, I mean, my life would have been really different.
Totally.
But um, what would I tell? Um,
So funny you say that because I could see you being a pop punk. Like, where are you? I could totally see you hitting.
Down that gin and kerosene. Oh yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
got the show. Come spit on bridges with let's see, what would I tell
I mean, you don't even have to have an answer if it's not obvious. 10 years is a long ass time and a lot of changes.
self-doubt is healthy, but it's mostly an illusion of your own mind. self-doubt when pursuing creative things is the insecurities that you have about yourself manifesting into the real world. And it's really just in your head. So don't be so scared. Don't be so scared is what I would say to myself. Don't be motivated by fear. Be motivated by like joy,
or just any bigger aspiration than like
yeah.
just yeah.
Motivation from fear. The problem is that it works. But like I said, with the being stubborn thing, at a certain point, you have to shift out of it. And it's really hard to shift out of it. Really hard. So the best thing you can do is just to be motivated by, God, it sounds so corny, but motivated by like the journey, I guess. Motivated by the process. And my roommate's here and he just made a funny face because I sound like a douchebag, but it's really true. It really is true, dude. I swear, like for real, it's true. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna, like you're gonna look back on not the accomplishments that you had, but what it took to get you there.
Yeah.
So pay attention while it's happening. A saying that I really like that I've told the labor bros a lot is the good times are happening right now. The good old days are current. You don't realize it until later. So look around and appreciate yourself, appreciate the people around you, and just don't be motivated by fear. What if this happens? What if that happens? What just don't just don't be so scared is what I would tell myself.
I love that.
I would say, hey, you got it. Chill.
Yeah.
And then my younger self would be like, you don't even drink anymore, pussy. That's probably what my young self would say to my current self. They'd be like, are you even fucking blacking out on Tuesdays? You're lame as fuck.
Yeah. There was this I forget what book it was. Oh my God, I've read quite a bit at this point. But I think it was an Alan Watts book. He was talking about the myth of the final destination. Cuz like that's like
Yeah.
and you're sold that your whole life. Like you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like once I graduate,
Yep.
like that's the big accomplishment. Oh, well like when I finish college, that's the real accomplishment." And then it's like then you just have like these checkpoints where it's like you think that that's where you've been arriving to this whole time, and then when you're there, it's like it's there's nothing there, you know. There's the destination isn't real, you know. There's no big grand thing waiting for you. It's just the process along the way that transforms you along the way. And yeah, like I guess if you look at who you were at the beginning, who you are at the end, yeah, I guess that's a destination, but that's just like one point along like a continually changing, evolving thing. That's just there's no and that your new destination changes, and it's just
The destination process. Yeah, totally. That's a good way to say it. The myth of the final destination. The other thing that I would tell myself, younger me, is like, not everybody is as against you as you think they are. Because I definitely use like my perception of people being against me as a motivator. But in reality, like no one really cares if you live or die on a deep level. Like it doesn't, everyone's just out walking their dog, like I said. So everyone's just walking to the store to get a drink. So while the, like I was saying at the beginning, the vengeance as a motivator can be valuable.
Yeah.
But it's also poisonous.
Yeah.
Because you run out of people to seek vengeance against. Eventually.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, I've been running this whole thing off of like hate for myself, for other people.
Yeah.
This is
the why is so important.
Poisonous. This is poisonous. Yeah.
You got to have a good why. Because like if you like that's I don't. It's just. I mean, I went to like I did when I went to college. I went for business, and they always hammered that in because it's true. Like the best businesses, they know why they're doing it, and that guides everything else. You know, like if your guiding thing is, oh, I want people to like me, well, you're gonna fucking lose because like you can't guarantee that. But if you have like a bigger mission, then that's something you could strive for. So if somebody doesn't like that particular piece of whatever, that top sheet, that that piece of content, but
Yeah,
you believe in your reasoning for it, the why behind it, then you could so much easily. It's much more easy to stand up for your own shit when you have good reasoning, like a
totally.
higher ideal that you're striving for.
I think I think that's really valuable. I think that's true. I think that
Because if your highest ideal is like, oh, I hate my dad, he doesn't believe in me, well, I mean, that can only bring you so far.
it could make you the president, but it's hard to. I think about the why a lot. I think that I've grown a lot as a person, but I'm also pretty much the same. I don't think people really change that much core personality. I remember when we were starting Vishnu, I remember thinking like skiing is so whack to me and I'm gonna fix it. That was kind of my that
Yeah.
was kind of my motivation at the time. And 10 years later, you know, I'll wake up at 3 p.m. and be like, what am I doing? Like, what should I do something else? Whatever. And I see something on the internet
Yeah.
that I don't like, and I'm back in the zone. I'm back in that
Yeah.
23-year-old, like, this sucks. I got to fix this. So until skiing in my eyes is like fixed, I'm going to keep doing this. And it probably never will be.
Yeah.
But that's my motivation, is to like leave skiing better than I found it, I guess. To me.
No,
To
and
me.
I love that. And I think it's worth noting, like, prior to all of this, you were just another normal dude that enjoyed skiing. You
Yeah.
know, like there was nothing particularly special or different about you, and you had an impact on something that you enjoyed just because you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep doing it, and yeah. And anyone has that power. Every single successful person is at the end of the day is just a normal ass person.
Yeah. They just have, I think it's just the skill of believing in yourself,
Yeah.
the practice of silencing self-doubt. It's really, really hard. And some days I'm better at it than others. But that's really it, is just fucking, why not you?
Love it. And
Why not you?
that's where we'll end it.
All right.
10 years of Vishnu. Emmett, it was great having you on. We're averaging every 30 episodes you come in here, so we'll
Oh
see you
yeah.
for episode 120, whatever.
Less concussed and confused than I was last time. So hopefully that's good.
Hell yeah. Do you want to leave us off with anything? You got some top sheets coming out, pre-sale, pre-order. You want to plug something?
Um, yeah. Um, Pre-sale May 1st. New ski coming out called the Tank. It is the first non-park ski from Vishnu. You could ski in the park if you want, but um, I'm trying to take over Snowbird. So look out for that. I think people are gonna like it. And my closing words would be, if you're trying to make something, practice, practice. You don't have to put your first try out there. You can keep it a secret and maybe put your fourth try out there.
Yeah,
So just think about that.
like that. All right. There we go.